Okay, so this is a user-requested video on the 9800 GX2. So what we have here is a retro build. Let me flip you guys around here so you can see. Okay, so I think that's about as good as that's about as good as we're going to get. So what we have here is a first generation i7 980 Extreme with 24 gigs of the best DDR3 that I could get my hands on. An Asus Sabertooth X58 motherboard. And I did use a 980 Extreme instead of a slightly faster like 990X or something like that, because I actually had this one brand new in the box. So it's kind of a cool thing to unbox it. But anyway, and then we've got the EVGA GeForce 9800 GX2 there. And then fans are Noctua, and this is a NZXT H500 case because I had it on hand, and it had some damaged, it had a damaged front panel USB port, and since this board is before front panel USB 3 headers anyway, I figured, well, I might as well use the case. So let's run. In just a sec. Let me see if I can move this so that you'll be able to see me while I'm doing the gaming here. Let's see here. Okay, so we are going to run Crysis, the original Crysis on this one, because it's the only game from that day and age that I really messed around with much, so I figure I might as well run the one that I know. Okay, let's run Crysis. It will be running in, whatchamajigger, windowed mode, because I did have some issues with the video settings, with getting it to run. I think because it's going into my 4K capture card, I think I didn't fully convince it that it's going 1080, so I think it was trying to output 4K or something, and it kept giving me an out-of-range signal, so I just running it this way. So let's do this. Let's load. Let's see here. Let's do that one. So this is a 17-year-old game, and we are running it on, I believe, 15-year-old-ish, give or take, hardware. The 9800 GX2, I believe, came out in the situation's oh man, I think 2009. And the chip and board and all that were also, I think, well, no, I think the chip and board might be slightly newer. I think the 980X, the 6-core, the first gen 6 cores, I think were 2010, I'm thinking. I've got it running on my OLED. It's kind of cool. Oh yeah, I always forgot. You gotta put it in, man, I can't. I wish I could set this up so you could actually look me straight in the eye, but the way I have it set up right now, my cable isn't long enough. You gotta put it in strength mode in this one to get it to actually hold your rifle steady. So it's not bad. I mean, we gotta look here. We are running low settings. Nothing could really run this game back then. Not until like the GTX 200 series cards came out, you really started really being able to run it. But even the GTX 295 dual GPU card, I think that only even hits with a single GTX 295. I think that only hits medium at 1080. So we are running low settings. And we are at 1920 1080. You got to keep in mind, back in this day and age, back in the, right for several years after this game came out, you didn't really run Crysis at 1080. Like, that just, it wasn't a thing back then. You couldn't really do it. Back then, most people didn't even have 1080 monitors back then. Back then, most people were running on, like, old, like, 17 and 19-inch monitors, like 4x3, and you'd be running at, like, I don't know, like 1024, 768. So, yeah, you didn't really try to run at 1080. But I mean, this isn't horrible. Let's take a look though. So to give you a little more accurate, let's do this. Let's do, I don't even know, what are the, let's do, I mean, 720 is more, let's see if it'll even, let's see if I can run it full screen now without it tweaking. It might tweak again though. Let's see what we get. It's gonna work. Oh, it's gonna work. Okay, cool. Okay, so, and then let's turn the settings up. Let's do, let's start at high. We'll go down from there if we need to. Is it gonna run? It may give me a message saying it needs to restart the game too. We'll see what it does. Oh, maybe it's gonna do it. Okay, okay, cool. Okay, so even at 720, so let's knock us back down to medium. And I mean, medium at 720 is a little more representative of what you would have been doing back in the day. Yeah, so that's not horrible. It does look kind of horrible on my OLED just because of the fact that my OLED's 32 inches. And even if you're running max settings on a game like this, at 32 inches, it looks terrible. Yeah. Man, these guys just cluster you, too. This is one of those games that once it decides you're toast, you're toast. The game decides you're done, you're done. Ah, they're gonna get me. I should look and see what the difficulty setting is on this. It might be really high. I might have set it up really high. Let's see here. Or I might just suck. There's that possibility too. Let's see here. Oh, okay, I do have it set on the second most difficult level. I don't usually do that on the games when I'm just trying to demo them, just because I'm not really trying to demonstrate my skill with the game itself. This is really more about the hardware. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this again. This looks so bad though. At 30, because like I said, I got stretched to 32 inch, and 1080 at 32. It looks like it looks kind of like Fortnite performance mode. Oh God, I suddenly can't fire. My gun literally will not fire. This happened earlier, and I never figured out what the cause of the problem was. This is not good. There it goes. So basically I'm toast because my gun decided not to fire. I have no idea what happened there. It just suddenly stopped working. That is just weird. Like I said, it's the second time I had that happen. I never figured out what caused it the first time either. I don't know if it's some sort of glitch with the game or what, but Even without my gun, they didn't kill me. That's actually pretty good for me. I usually kind of suck. I thought I was toast there for a sec. Yeah, so back in the day, what was it, 17 years ago, 2007? This was the very first game that I got into. Well, there was one long before that, but of the reasonably modern games, this was the first one I've gotten into in a long time. Long before this, I had gotten into a game called Descent 3. That was like a 2000 release or something. That was a really old game. Oh, I got him. Okay, so I think this kind of gives you an idea of really what we're working with here. It's definitely at 720p on a smaller monitor. This would definitely be doable. But it's my 32-inch monitor. This actually might, I'll have to look at the video. I bet the video that you see on YouTube is going to be better looking than what I see on my monitor, to be honest. Okay, so if you made it this far in the video, I hope you found this as kind of a interesting look at a more or less retro game running on definitely retro hardware at this point. So thanks for watching the video.